Hello. Is this using the right mic? It is using the right mic. Okay. Hello. This is going to be a comfy stream today. At least for the beginning for now. I was looking at, So I was looking at this stream starting right here, and this is basically a volumetric cloud renderer that renders this tunnel. The clouds are actually just a deformation applied to the tunnel. You can see here the tunnel distance function, and the water is the operation, or the distortion. So what I was thinking, or I saw this and I was like, hey, I could just make a second one of these that just has a different shape. Like I could just do clouds in the sky. And then I was thinking, man, this is a nighttime one with the stars in the background, and kind of like a moon glow. So I was thinking I should just do similar to what I did back here, just a super simple, but with like a blue sky here. So I'm just thinking of basically doing something like this, but maybe more of clouds. So anyways, this is the code, or this is a copy of the code for the stream starting here. So first thing I think I'm going to do is do a blue background instead of these yeah, so there's a few things. This right here is the light. Take away a bunch of these random values to begin with as well. So we've got the sky, which had stars in it. Now we're just gonna do blue to start. Red, green. We're gonna do bright blue. Then that's gonna mix in the sunlight, which is spinning in this case. Alright, so now if we take away, damn, that even looks really nice. We're gonna stop the sun from spinning. Just gonna put it directly . Then I'm actually going to take away the clouds for this as well, so that we can just visualize the background. So here we go, we've got a bright blue background. I don't know why it's not showing the sun. Oh, I was swizzling RD. And you know what? I just realized this is actually something that I can do split screen. Put the code up on one half of the screen and oh my god, you can't resize it all the way down there. Brutal. The hell, Windows? Anyways, I just gotta resize this. Do it to half the size. We've got a fixed aspect ratio here, so I can't resize it too much. Alright, there we go. Now we got our scene up on one half and our code up on the other. I'm almost looking and seeing it might be better to split it across like the bottom here. Whatever. Okay, so that's our sun, one at the z-axis. I think we might do a fixed sun direction for this, just to make it simple. I'm going to take away all of these random values. Alright, so we can change the light importance now, and a whole bunch of this stuff. What was this? -3. This changes the density. Okay, perfect. Oh, and then this is the color right here. So one of the other things I'm going to do with this is I'm going to do a lot less randomization. Or try not to have it look so different each time, just... So like right here, it's basically the same thing each time, except for the...
On the other side of fear.
There's something changing. You can see here a little bit of color is changing. Oh look, is there anything else randomized here? Oh, it's probably the starting right here. Or the movement, let me see. Now I still get slightly different tinted ones. Oh, this right here. the amount of random mixing. There's probably one right here, I think. Maybe small value, I'm not sure. Yeah, it was a small value, it made it mostly the color of the sun. That itself looks really good right now, I think. Now let's actually change the shape. So first of all, just an example, we can take away our distortion right here, the water effect. And now it's not really clouds, it goes back to a tunnel.
It's on the other side of fear.
So, what I'm thinking is actually doing layers of clouds. So instead of like doing a tunnel here, do like disable the distortion for now. We're just going to do a layer of clouds. Right now the camera is directly in the layer, so we're going to put it up above a little bit. There we go. So now the camera is right above this layer of clouds. So we can apply this water distortion effect. Make it look like clouds. But I want something bigger. I want actual so basically what I'm looking at doing actually isn't this, it's like this skybox render. So what this did, I'm thinking now, is it had a distortion effect like that. I might actually go back to this distortion effect. It was just a bunch of cosine and sine waves, which I think is really ideal. But the way it did these big fluffy clouds, which is what I want, is it did cubes. It didn't do a flat plane, it did cubes with actual volume. I think that's what I'll do. And this could actually create a really surreal scene, just a bunch of block clouds, cube clouds. How am I going to do this? Absolute value. Then we do the size of them. I'm just going to do blocks to begin. And then this will just do a single cube. What I actually need is repeating. So I'm going to compile here. What? Oh, just doing 2D, not 3D. XC equals mod abs. How much I want to repeat. There we go. Then I could make them really tall. make them denser here. And we get a little bit of shadow here. Okay, this is similar to what I want. Now I want to do this with very large scales and maybe do layers of clouds above. Let me try to camera up and down. Just make sure is everything good. Yep. Wonder what those are from. If those are part of the actual clouds, or... Oh, that is the hash. There's something wrong with this hash. There we go. I might copy that same old clouds distortion. Because I think it looks pretty good. I would say that's pretty good for real-time cloud rendering. Now I just need to add the distortion. And what I want to actually do is layers. Hey, Morame. So basically like one or two more sets of these clouds. I could actually do this with, actually I might just do 2 layers because I can just do that with mirroring right here. I can't remember how. How did I do this again? Absolute value. Here we go. Okay, so now we have 2 layers. So this is good because this should create shadows or shadow-like effects. If we make the clouds wider here, you can see the shadows from the ones above, casting down, even though it's fuzzy. You see it. So if I add a distortion, hopefully it should add to that. But what I also want to do is make the clouds random so that it's not constant blocks, but different sizes. So I might do that right now. I'm wondering if I should do the distortion first or that. What's really cool is I could also do God Rays here. This would actually be a really good scene for God Rays. The God Rays would shine through down here. Oops. I'm trying to work out a technique to add up rays and get less motion blur. But it doesn't seem to work. There we go, that has very little motion blur. But it's more fuzzy and noisy. God Ray is not perspective based, like volumetric rays. I don't know, I think God Ray is just a general term. Temporal anti-aliasing, yep. It actually does have anti-aliasing. I jitter right here. I jitter the pixels. I actually don't need this anymore for this part. Because they're clouds, they have it built in basically by being smooth. Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to make these randomly sized. The clouds are going to be able to be up to 10 units large. Yeah, so okay. I need to get a floored position right here. I'm gonna add 1,000 or 5,000 so it never goes negative, because negative breaks flooring on some platforms. Or like the OpenGL spec says that floor doesn't have to handle negative a certain way, so and once I've got this floored position, this is basically the seed. So actually then I'm just going to feed this into the hash. Times some seed values. Alright, so then with this hash value, we're going to use that as our size. hash.xyz times 10 being the max size. Oops. Oh shit. Okay, there's something broken about it. That actually looks so cool though. What did I do? What did I do? Oh my god. Happy accidents. Yeah, that actually looks nice. Oh my god. That almost looks like its own effect. I know what it's doing. It's not, right here, this floor, this is supposed to be P divided by 10, or actually 20. Yeah, like that. So now, so this is what it's supposed to be. Maybe a bit too much motion blur again, but this is what it's supposed to be. A bunch of block-shaped clouds, different sizes. Then I could maybe do it all the way down so you get a bunch of shadowing and global illumination. I think that would be good. Okay, anyways, let me do let me show you what I did before, or recreate it. I think I can make this look better. Or do that same messed up effect but make it look better. So like, doing even divided by 4 should have a similar effect. But different. Oh my god. So it has the effect of added detail. This actually reminds me of Greebles. I think they're called Greebles. Yeah, Greeble. This is a fucking Greeble. Or Nerny is a fine detailing added to a surface of a larger object that makes it appear more complex and therefore more visually interesting. We just Greebled this shit. Oh my god, look at this. That is actually so good. Oh my god. Dude, imagine using this, imagine doing a game out of this. Like, this is why I can't wait until my engine is like, oh, it's so close. Making games out of this stuff, like doing a game where you play up in the clouds or something like that, or just having realistic sky is like... The earliest recorded use of the term Greeble was those working on special effects for Star Wars, the group that would later become Industrial Light and Magic. They described this design method as guts on the outside. Yeah, the one issue with this is the instability it causes. I could probably have a similar effect by just doing overlapping cubes. But I want it to be somewhat open so that light can go through. Yeah, I'm gonna make this layered. So we're gonna do p.y. Oh, we can actually do this all together then. Right here. Just feed the whole repeated value in. Okay, this is gonna be crazy, but let's do it. Oh! Wicked! So light still gets through due to the way the path tracing works. Dude, this right here might be it. Just clean this up and make it look like, make the lighting look or higher quality. Like, so if I increase this, it should make it way darker. Yeah, because the light ray doesn't escape now. Bounces around the clouds. But then I go here and I limit p.y equals max or actually wait, the best way of doing this is max p.y. There we go. So now it cuts off the clouds at the top. Oh, that is awesome. So you can see like the shadows being cast. And then you've got that bit of light that's passing through Minecraft sky. Man, this is like realistic Minecraft sky. I actually never, I was thinking about the Minecraft like blocks in the sky, but yeah. And also, if I decrease this, it should make it brighter, more ambient. Oh, yeah. Go deeper. I like code myself basics like you do. During this, you may create something actually new and unique. So I like to use my own engine everywhere. Man, that's the true thing, new and unique. So when I was talking about doing games with like a cloud, with clouds, I was mostly just saying you never see games doing things where you play in clouds. Mostly because you can't render I think most of the reason games don't do that is because game developers are well aware they can't represent clouds effectively. Oh my god, look at this though. Like you're flying through marshmallows. And as you get down, the light blurs into this ambient gray, blue. And you still get these few little things of like sun breaking through. Oh man, this is so, yeah. This is it. I think this is going to be a new starting screen for me. Like, I honestly think this looks better or cooler than this for some reason. I don't know why. It's just so simple, but it's like part of what, it's like abstract. Saw cloud tunnels on Shader Toy. So amazing cloud cubes also. Oh yeah. Clouds have been tunnels are like a classic shader effect, because they're one of the cheapest geometry you can do. Now we're breaking out of the clouds here. Oh, that's wicked, and it even gets brighter once you get up here. So then what I'm going to look at doing is, I am going to look at randomizing this a bit. Because right now it's like you're always aligned in this center. So it might make you go side to side. I might move the camera a little bit, like make it look around. we will see. I didn't mess up anything on the stream the other day. Oh man, I had the best thing the other day, so I always forget that my mic is muted. The other day I was playing Bioshock, and for like an hour, I wasn't talking, and I also forgot I had my mic muted, so it didn't matter at all. It's perfect. Adding any dynamic to it will make it much cooler. Yeah. The other thing is I feel like this one I went... Oh wait, not that one. With this one I went overboard with how dynamic it is. Like how each time it can look so different from here to like here. I think that's good. But like there's a bunch of times when I run it and I want like... I don't want it to like look like this. There's sometimes I want one and I just want it to be like some abstract cubes that look the same every time. Or not the same. They look the same but different. They're the same but they're different sizes. Hold on, I am gonna go get some water. I got my chair set up so comfy now. But the issue is I can't sit up. I can't get up easily. And once I sit down, I'm just like stuck here. We might be playing some Bioshock DLC after this. I will see. I'm just looking at this though. Oh my god, these waves here are distortions in the ray tracing. And I think it actually looks good. Like it actually looks like the clouds moving and waves in the clouds. Like it actually looks like it adds detail to the clouds. Oh my god. Ooh, new chair. Actually not a new one. This is one that I just, it was old and I just washed the pads. That's such a good chair. Or it's such a good chair for just sitting back. I like just a straight back wooden chair for when I'm actually sitting up typing normally. I'm just fucking relaxing this afternoon though. Okay, so first thing I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna try out a different movement method. So what I'm gonna do is, I think instead of making it move straight, I'm gonna make it spin around. And I might make the movement spin around too. Alright, so now RD is a Z forward ray vector. RP is the ray direction or ray position going along the Z. So now if we get a 2D matrix, rotation matrix, from our helper rotation function here, and we multiply these by that, then we get, or we should get, a spinning camera. Oh, actually, wait. Oh, that's way too fast. Oops. Wait. Oh god. There we go. So even that just makes it way better, I think. That is like such a better camera angle, camera movement. Cyberpunk 2020. I gotta be honest, I'm not that excited for it. My hype's kinda died, I don't know why. Also, this is a sine wave right now. I think I'm going to change this to a triangle wave, because the sine wave and cosine wave sit at the top parts here for way longer. Oh my god, my cat was just sneezing. And it like sounds like the... my cat sneezing sounded super like, just like the, one of the drums, or actually it might be a cymbal. The shaker going on right now. Oh my god. Alright, so this is a triangle wave. So it's hard to tell, but actually you'll maybe be able to see here how when it gets it right here, it stops going up and down, it sits at the bottom. This is what the sine and cosine waves do. Whereas if we change this to a triangle wave, oh god, what did it, oh, racked. We add some tubes to half these cubes, make them like big houses, and like big houses by adding just Windows textures. And cloud cubes plus house cubes. Tubes to handle them. I'm not sure I completely grasp the image in your head, Morame. default future design or feature design. Inspired by Cloud Cubes. Man, this is looking really clear right now. There's like no motion blur, there's just a bit of noise. And the shadows and lighting are looking like on point. Now, how am I gonna ruin this? Times max 0 RD.Y. So now the blue is only above, so it should have way less ambient light, at least down below. And you have the black in the background. I might just do a gray background. So like the blue, in my opinion, the blue background doesn't really contribute much. It's all like the white. I don't know how I feel though doing like a, almost feel like it's better actually with the blue shading down here. It almost looks nicer having that little blue lighting everything up. I could randomize it. I could make it sometimes gray. Yesterday I saw a document from NVIDIA where they talk about optimization of ray tracing game engines. They make some unique technique. You can up ray tracing like 30 times, even a ray traced game will have gone old NVIDIA 440. They shade their code with CUDA. Interesting. Link the PDF if you want, it's not that big. Nah, I'm good. I gotta be honest, I looked at doing ray tracing my engine for a while, like over the past month. I'm just gonna do forward rendering with just regular lights. It's like, I would much rather have a game that looks clear with no noise, and I'm pretty sure I could get like 1,000 FPS out of like a million triangles with simple forward rendering on like PT980 here. But ray tracing, adding any ray tracing lighting or deferred rendering just kills FPS, I think. Or I know it kills FPS, it just takes a chunk off your FPS. I know FPS isn't everything, but let's randomize this. We're gonna make the clouds go between dark and light. Voxel GR are fine with current GPUs. So, have you looked into Metropolis Light Transport? It's like the best way of currently doing ray tracing, and it basically sums up to doing virtual point lights, or virtual lights, where basically all you do is you start with like a regular sunlight like I have here, and you do a shadow map where you draw from the light's perspective, and then instead of just storing the depth like with a regular renderer or real-time renderer these days and then shading it black, you also shade the color or get the color and the normal, basically do like deferred rendering where you calculate what lighting is coming from that pixel in the shadow map, and then you sort through the shadow map. Or in the whole Metropolis Light Transport, you have like thousands of lights. You sort through all these maps of the lights, and then you basically there's like, this is the hard part, is you can either do kind of what a neural network does where it tries to place lights where it can best approximate all the thousands of mini pixel lights from the shadow map, or you can sort through the maps and choose the most important lights, and that'll approximate pretty well. But it's like, that's what Metropolis Light Transport basically like sums up to, is just doing thousands of point lights like in a normal game engine, and it just automatically places those point lights wherever light is reflecting the brightest. So I've looked into doing that in real time, and that would be the best method as well, because then you can do normal rasterization where you render triangles, but it's like, you basically, if you have to do 100 lights and render the shadow maps for them, it's slow. So like, that's what I'm looking at for real-time GI, but I don't think we're quite there yet. Or like, that's the whole thing, is I can choose between, so if you're doing that as well, it still is like, it's like this. I have to blend, if you want to make it clearer, or if you want to make it run in real time with a minimal number of rays, you're only going to have a few samples or light maps, and you're going to need to mix frames together and you get effects of motion blur. So basically what my implementation of path tracing has come down to is, it's like, okay, I could implement a real-time path tracer that like current real-time GPU rendering area with some ray tracing technique with weird rasterization shaders. I think that's pre-full ray trace engines. Yeah, so I think like, yeah, if we get like a full ray trace engine, that's amazing. I don't know if we're gonna get that, but like, see this is voxel based. So you can see here, as the light moves, see how there's this ghosting? There's a blur of the light because it blends frames over time, like temporal anti-aliasing. So every single technique I've found today that can do real-time ray tracing like this, it relies on this temporal anti-aliasing or super sampling. And so basically it's a question of, okay, you can get this real-time light, this real-time path tracing that looks realistic, but it has ghosting and terrible motion blur. And I've been playing a whole bunch of games today, or not today, this year, like the Gothic 2 demo, where they just have built-in motion blur. And the first thing that comes to my brain is, oh my god, are they using path tracing or some technique where they need to blend frames? And so basically my conclusion I've just came to is I can do very good looking lighting without the path tracing, and there's no ghosting or anything. So like, until I can find some technique that has no ghosting or motion blur, I'm not going to go for it because I'm the type of person that absolutely hates ghosting in motion blur. It's such a big issue for me. That is why I'm not doing a real-time ray tracer, at least right now. You need RTX video card. Oh, the best. So the best thing was when I asked this developer on Twitter. So there's actually okay. So first of all, I gotta explain how this started. So first of all, I was trying to do this thing called vector mapping, or actually it's like support vector mapping. Not a support vector machine, it's like it maps from one vector to another, and then the issue I ran into was that you needed to interpolate between a bunch of unevenly spaced points. So then I see this guy I follow on Twitter that I've actually talked to before. He sent this note about when we start putting SDF data into meshes. This is actually oh man, I don't want to show these messages. I was talking to this guy back in 2015 about, he literally, like, actually, I gotta show this. So he tweeted this out on January 24th about everyone else when we start putting SDF data into meshes, bilinear isn't correct. So, like, man, I fucking hate showing private Twitter messages. It just feels bad. But anyways, back in 2015, he told me that bilinear, bilinear wouldn't be correct for SDF. Anyways, that's not the thing. Then he said the nice thing about a data mesh though is that you can add more points where you want more accuracy. Blue noise comes back again as the density map for dithering and distance error reduction. And I was like, yeah, I tried something like this where points were sorted and chosen by importance, but I got unevenly spaced points. How do you interpolate them? Data lookups via ray tracing. So this is a use he gave for RTX, or the DirectX ray tracing, is if you have this 3D data stored in a mesh that you need to interpolate between, you can just ray trace it. Oh man, this is my favorite use of ray tracing I've seen. Can you use ray tracing to do, see, this is the other thing he adds, is can you extend it to 4D? That's the real question here. That is the real question. But yeah, that's the most interesting use for RTX I've seen right now is 3D data lookups. I think this actually makes it look less noisy for some reason. Not sure why. Maybe it blurs them together over time. Either way it works, so does that look too fuzzy or noisy? I think that's good.
Never look back.
There we go. Okay, so this goes between gray and blue skies, which I think is very nice because it gives the sun. So sometimes then you get the sun shining way more. I think I can just slow it down and increase the interpolation.
Never look back.
GTA 5 colors, their shaders like 500 lines long just for color correction during the day. Jesus, that's a bit overboard, I think. Is GTA one of those games where it looks better when they remove the color correction? I know there's like some games like Resident Evil where they've done before and after shots with the color correction removed and it looks so much better. I know the old games look better on old monitors, like Sierra games. Yeah, because they have CRT correction, right? Oh, this has the color artifact where it wipes over the screen. Oh my god, okay. So this dithering should be what slowly gets rid of this. I think it also corrects the current games to test on targeted hardware. And they made color correction for consoles, yeah. Here we go, I think this is good. I can RD, extend the ray a little bit so it never gets stuck. Easy to make underwater cloud cubes. Yeah, I guess I could add fog. Oh my god, so if I added fog and I just made everything more blurry and added like a wave or like a little sign distortion, it would honestly look underwater. One thing I just want to do though is moving. Right now it's looking in the same spot at the same clouds each time. I'm gonna do is I'm gonna randomize that. Whoops. Wrong way. That's what it looks like from above. Have I dropped any frames? I actually should check how much GPU is this using. Oh, 15%. That's not bad. That's actually really good. I need to pay attention though. Once I make it full screen, it could end up using way too much. Wrong operand, left hand of high type float, right hand type of integer. Oh, right there. Things seem darker. Why do things seem darker? So the camera's still... Oh, I'm stupid. I'm just trying to make sure it doesn't go through. Too much. So right now it starts the ray direction 10 units ahead, but if it goes very close to any clouds, the screen won't turn completely gray. You can see here a cloud comes up really close and it just kind of fades out now. I wonder if it should go all the way up, like past. Then you get to look up above the clouds. And I am actually going to tint the sky darker as it goes below. So the clamp y plus 1. Plus 0.5. I think that might be too dark. Just a bit. Oh yeah, there's a bit of, there's artifacts there because it's pushing the ray too far forward. I'm only going to push it 5 units ahead. Yeah, you know what? I'm really happy with this. Let me just see what it looks like when it goes up above here. see how far it sees. Yeah, that's good. I feel like it's kind of satisfying to finally see above the clouds here. That might be a bit too high. I feel like these darker blue don't work as well. I feel like the very bright blue here actually works like this, just only doing, yeah. Let's see what it looks like when it goes down below. So I feel like as it gets down here, it should get darker along this ray direction. Like, it shouldn't be blue down here. And maybe I can just do max that. So now that looks more correct, having the blue up there and the black down there. I think that's right. And maybe have it go down a bit farther than 200, or than 100. That looks nice. Now as it gets higher up, it should, some lights should start shining through. Oh, you can kind of see here. That might be a bit too far down, actually. I'm gonna hide that black along the horizon. Give you some cool sky color if you want. It's a 3-line function. It's good. I just need the blue sky here. I'm mostly just working on where it cuts off to black. It's black here, so I need it to cut off to black at the halfway mark so that it actually gets darker down below. But yeah, I don't want to see this black line up here. I think I'm just gonna have it cut off super quickly like this. What? It's not going down. The value is so high. Music fits abstract clouds perfectly. Thank you. Actually, so I guess it's minimal techno. I guess these are like minimal clouds. There, so the black line is right there. You can barely see it. I think that's perfect. Alright, I'm gonna make this noisy and speed it up just so I can test it faster. Yeah, it doesn't actually matter that much how far it goes down. You know, actually, if I really wanted to make this get darker, what I would do is multiply this by the distance. So max 0 point clouds. So this way it only starts rendering the sky when it's 2 units away from the clouds. Oh, and I gotta clamp it 0 to 1 because that goes above. This actually might work really well. I'm gonna speed it up again to make it more noisy, just so that I can see how much darker it gets as it goes down with this shading. So you can actually see the background kind of dimming back here. Go down to 230 units. That wasn't low enough. Definitely getting darker, not that much darker though. We're gonna do times 0.1, which will make it fade in the background as it gets 10 units away. So now we can, oh yeah, that actually seems good. You can see it's dark gray there, and then as you get up here it gets light gray and light blue. Oh yeah, so I think that's the way to do it. Let me try minus 0.5, so this will make it go 15 units away. You can see it turning black on the background there. And the sun's so bright here, it's still getting all this light from the sun. Oh, here we go. Oh wait, I don't think the ray direction is big enough. Here we go. Okay. So this is what it looks like when the ray actually gets to go the full way. It never escapes. It only gets hit by clouds. And then you can see how little light actually makes it down here. It gets completely dark. So this is what the realistic effect is. It gets completely dark. That's, sometimes the realistic effect isn't what looks the best. It's not realistic. Well, it's fuzzy, and it's cube clouds, which are never real. But the lighting is the way. What about refraction? Right here, where it mixes the ray direction randomly, this does random reflection and refraction. I can't remember if it's isotropy or anisotropy. Uniformity in all directions. It's isotropy. Yeah, so this uses isotropy. Or somewhat. Wait, no. It's like a mix of aniso and an isotropy. But yeah, it's not 100% accurate or realistic reflection off water droplets. But it's pretty damn good, I think. I think it's finally starting to lag. Still only using 17. Oh, there we go. Firefox is so weird how it goes between 0 and 30%. But yeah, might be using a bit much now. I wonder. I may do this big ray direction. Does look pretty good. Let's slow it back down. See how it's meant to be. Oh yeah, way too dark. Oh yeah, so negative 200 is probably too much. I think that's good. Okay, now let's put it up to full resolution and make sure it doesn't lag. %GPU. 50% GPU. Like, that's good. Boom. That's it. I am happy with that. I think I'm gonna play. Man, I can't get BioShock out of my head. Like, once I get into this game, into BioShock, it's just like, man. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play through. Basically, it bugs me that I still have part of BioShock 2 there. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna play. The stream's gonna stop, and then in like 10 minutes it's gonna start back up, and I'm gonna be playing BioShock 2, the DLC Minerva's Den. And I'm also gonna download Infinity, and we're just gonna dive straight into that. I feel like it makes sense to just like play through a series of a game all in one. Like, you know how you binge a Netflix series? It's like playing through that. Gonna be happy with this progress. Oh yeah, like I was saying, I'm so happy with this cloud rendering. I think this is fast enough to be like something you could actually do for a game or use in a game. Anyways, thank you for watching the programming stream. I will be back again in like 10 minutes. I will see you then. If not, have a good day.